You see, so many people think a website is just decoration, like a pretty digital painting you hang on the wall and just hope people like it. But really, its actual job? Oh, it's so much more important than just looking pretty.
And you know what else it's not? It's not just a digital photo album, a static gallery of past projects that someone clicks through once and then completely forgets about. If that's all it's doing, the business is leaving a ton of potential on the table.
So here's the absolute key. This is the big idea. A website is a business's official digital ID. Think about it. It's the very first place a potential customer goes to check you out, to see if you're legit, professional, and actually trustworthy. In their mind, it's your license to do business.
Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to hammer home why your website is your ID. Then, we'll get into what I call the bad ID problem and look at the anatomy of a website that just feels right. After that, we'll break down the very real cost of confusion and wrap it all up with the single most important trust signal you need to get.
All right, let's jump right in. Section 1, your website is your ID. Now, this analogy is absolutely key. If you really get this, everything else about how customers behave online will just click.
I mean, just think about it in the real world for a second. You walk up to a bar, the bartender's going to ask for your ID before they pour you a drink, right? A bouncer at a club is not going to let you in if you hand him some sketchy, homemade fake ID. And why is that? It's all about trust and verification. Well, guess what? The average customer online, they are 100 times more skeptical than that bouncer.
And these are the digital red flags that set off all their alarm bells. If a business shows any of these signs, it's the online equivalent of handing over an ID that just says McLovin. It's an instant nope. It triggers immediate hesitation, people get that bad gut feeling, they leave, and they definitely are not pulling out their credit cards.
Okay, so what happens when that digital ID isn't just missing in action, but is actively terrible? Well, this is where doubt starts to creep in. And let me tell you, doubt is the absolute poison for any sale.
So look at this. On the left, you've got everything that makes a customer breathe a sigh of relief. It's clear, it's simple, there's proof, it makes them feel comfortable. And on the right, that's the digital version of a crinkled, blurry, expired ID you found in a gutter. It practically screams, "Run away!"
I mean, which one feels easier to trust? It's not a trick question, is it? You don't even have to think about it. Your gut just knows. And when you show this contrast to a client, their gut knows too. Clarity always wins the trust game.
Okay, so how do we actually build one of these legit digital IDs? Let's break down the essential components. And look, this isn't about winning art awards, okay? This is about the nuts and bolts, the functional anatomy that builds trust one piece at a time.
We can actually break down the 11 essential parts of a great website into 6 main areas. You can think of it like a machine, really. Every part has a job to do, from the foundation all the way to the safety net at the bottom. And if one little gear is rusty or broken, the whole thing just feels off.
Okay, first up, the map and compass. The header is basically the big sign that says you are here. The logo confirms who owns the here. And the menu? That's your GPS, showing you all the important spots you can visit. And listen, a quick pro tip on that menu. Don't get cute with it. Our journey sounds poetic, but About Us gets the click. Clarity over creativity every single time. All right, next up is the above the fold section. And this is huge. This is everything a person sees the second they land on the page, before they even think about scrolling. This tiny little window of space is the bouncer. It has literally 3 seconds to screen the answers to 3 questions. 1, what is this place? 2, why should I care? And 3, what am I supposed to do now? If it fails that test, poof, they're gone. Game over.
Okay, let's talk about the real-world cost of getting this wrong. Because having a weak digital ID isn't just some small design oopsie. Oh no. It has real, measurable, and frankly, painful consequences that poison everything else you're trying to do in marketing and sales.
And this table just lays it all out. Cause and effect. When your online presence is weak, every single thing is an uphill battle. Your ads cost more, sales calls are a grind, good leads just vanish. But when that presence is clear and trustworthy, whoosh, everything gets easier. The trust is already there before you even pick up the phone. You're not just building a website, you're greasing the wheels for the entire business.
Which brings us to our final point, the ultimate trust signal. Look, if you forget everything else from this module, please remember this one thing. This is the whole philosophy in a nutshell.
I want you to really let that sink in. This has nothing to do with being pretty or winning some fancy design award. It's about psychology. A website's #1 job,
Its only real job is to make a customer feel safe and smart for choosing you. So from this day forward, whenever you look at a client's online presence, or your own for that matter, I want you to ask this one simple question. Is their digital ID building trust, or is it creating doubt? Because remember, your job isn't to be a web designer, it's to be a confidence builder. That's how you turn a random visitor into a loyal customer. And that right there is the real work.